He is a Moth Grand Slam winner. He's also the producer and host of The Day I Should Have. And I heard this story that he shared at the Moth Grand Slam recently, and I was like, please come tell that at the show. So I'm so excited for you guys to hear this story. Please give it up for Danny Artese.
So I was at a friend of mine's 24th birthday party, and she was the only person I knew there, so I got to meet everybody at the party, which means that it was helpful the next day that she was the type of person who takes a picture of every configuration of guests at every event she ever goes to, so I could kind of jog my memory as to all of the people that I just met. Except that there was one guy I didn't recognize. And all of the pictures were from the back, so I couldn't see his face. And I should have remembered him because he was wearing like almost the same color shirt that I was, and that's the kind of thing you notice. And he was like kind of a similar height and build, except that in these pictures of not his face, there was just a patch of scalp where clearly there had once been a little bit more hair, and now there was less hair. And as I looked through more and more pictures, it took me longer than it should have to realize that he was me from an angle I hadn't seen myself in a while. And this is not a broccoli in the teeth situation. Like, how had nobody told me that this was happening? And it wasn't supposed to happen. From the time I was very, very young, like, little old ladies would stop me in department stores and marvel to my mom over how much of a full head of thick, curly hair I had. Strange women would touch my head. And then as I got older, anyone who met my uncles would tell me how lucky I was that I was going to have a full head of hair forever. And then in middle school, in science class, when we were learning about the human body and we put a piece of hair under the microscope, my teacher said she had never seen hair the texture of mine before in her entire teaching career. And in high school, I was a very serious contender for best hair because at the time, it often went to the white boy with the curliest, puffiest hair. We can discuss the racial politics of that later. But please note, I did say contender. It's fine, I'm fine. And so when I saw this picture, there was a very clear and obvious solution. No more pictures from the back, ever. That was it. And so I took logical next steps. I found a stylist who could work with my hair, not against my hair. And she gave me some tips for cutting it and even some color options and things like that. And then as the months turned into years, and thinning turned into balding, which is different. We kind of mutually agreed that I didn't have enough hair left to be worth the commute and the expense of going to see her, and so ended the longest monogamous relationship of my life. And we said we would get coffee sometime. We did not. And I get it, okay? Like, I know that some people have real problems. But I do not think that means I need to be happy about losing my hair. And the thing is, like, it's not even, I don't mind looking older. It's looking less attractive. Because survey 100 people and ask them, what kind of hair do you like on a guy? You might hear blonde, you might hear dreads, you might even get a few bald is beautifuls. But how many people are gonna say, ooh, little heavy fringe around the ears? Yeah, totally missing from the crown. And on top, like there, but just barely. And like, I've never thought of myself as a particularly attractive person to begin with, but I thought I was gonna get to make up for it later. in my 40s and 50s when everyone else lost their hair and I still had the full head of hair that I had been promised. And maybe it would have been different if that promise had been different. If I had been told from a young age, treasure what you've got because you never know when it'll be gone. But no, I was promised and guaranteed that I wasn't going to lose my, that I was exceptional. Like I was an exception. We tell from our scars, not from our wounds. That's what we say in storytelling. So there are upsides to losing your hair. It's not all bad, right? I mean, like one time I was at a concert and the guy checking IDs for alcohol took one look at my head and said, between the balding and the graying, you're good. Yeah. How convenient. So, like, I go to a lot of concerts, and I can assure you that that is the only time that happened, but I think you will agree that that is enough. Thank you. And usually I go to, like, lesser-known artists at smaller venues, but every now and then there's a big one. And a few years ago, my roommate and I got tickets to see Adele in her sold-out 5-night run at Madison Square Garden. So you've heard of her, okay. And our tickets were so inexpensive for such good seats that we thought they were fake because we got them through a fan pre-sale until we got into the entrance and security did not stop us because it was actually a fan pre-sale. And so we got shown to our seats, which were floor seats, 15th row on a center aisle. So in front of us is the stage, and behind us is a raised platform. And you don't even have to have been to a lot of concerts to know that that means that at some point, Adele is going to be on each of those and travel between them. Remember, on the center aisle. And so the show begins. The lights go down. She rises from the platform behind us to sing Set Fire to the Rain. And after one song, she descends a flight of stairs and hits that aisle between us. And so she's walking, and I'm the kind of fan, specifically I should say I'm not the kind of fan that needs that like body contact. I'm above that. I need eye contact. Adele, I need to know that you know that I am here. And so I looked and I waited for our moment and we had it. And I know that thousands of other people probably thought they had the moment too, but like I really did, okay? And then she got up to the stage and did the rest of the show. It was phenomenal because I don't know if you are familiar with this fact about Adele, but she is Adele. And so the next day, my roommate, with whom I had so much fun, says, Danny, I got this picture of you and Adele, but I'm not sure you're going to want me to post it. And I was like, a picture of me and Adele? Like, why would I know? Because there in, like, regal but approachably charismatic profile was Adele, and there was the back of my head staring at her, making that precious eye contact. And so I asked her not to post it. The world was not going to get to see me with my new best friend Adele. And for what? The only people that would possibly be surprised at what they saw were those friends in high school who had not voted me best hair. In retrospect, a good thing, but in the moment, like, they didn't deserve this. Everyone that I knew had, in theory, seen me from 360 degrees. They knew what I looked like. And that's the thing, right? Is like, if you've lost a bunch of hair or you've gained 15 pounds or, a wrinkle or a breakout has shown up, I don't know how to break it to you, but that's what you look like. And your friends and your family have seen you, and they know that, and they've still been willing to be seen in public with you. But at the time, I still asked my roommate to please not post the picture, followed by asking her to please send it to me so that I could post the picture myself. In other words, hello from the other side, indeed. Thank you.
Yum's the word.